The human body is a truly amazing machine. "650 muscles, including a heart that can beat more than 3 billion times. 206 bones, more than 1,000 miles of airways in the lungs, all coordinated by billions of electrical circuits in the form of nerve cells. Over 100 trillion cells that somehow know how to grow and develop according to a central plan that is encoded in the heart of every cell inside an amazing molecule called DNA. Today we are living in an amazing era when science is accomplishing something we never would have believed that we could do. In fact, it has been said that this is the ultimate imaginable thing, to look at our instruction book and understand what it is telling us. This compilation is the human genome. 3 billion letters long, this is the instruction set for making a human being. But it is more than that too. It is a history of where we come from and who our relatives are. It contains the edits and the changes that have taken place during our journey for billions of years. The human genome is an amazing compendium, and as we are able to read it, a story is unfolding, written in a code of 4 letters that tells us who we really are. Some of the things we are finding make sense only in retrospect. 50% of the genes in a cauliflower are also in us. We may think we are unrelated to a cauliflower, but a little over 1 billion years ago we share a common ancestor. This is only one of the stories we can read in the book of the Genome. Along with us, cauliflowers contain all the chemical machinery for replicating DNA, all the machinery of controlling the structure and the functioning of cells, all the machinery for making tissues, and between cauliflowers and us, all that is necessary for life. As we examine the genomes of creatures closer and closer to our branch on the tree of life, we find their genomes are increasingly similar to our own. We may share 50% of a vegetable's genome, and perhaps 75% of a reptile's genome, a plotline that dates back about 300 million years ago. And 85% with a mouse, a chapter from 75 million years ago. And if we look at our closest living relatives, like the gorilla and the chimpanzee, you will find that we share 98% of our DNA, a page from just 6 or 7 million years ago. The genomes of all humans are 99% the same. All the people in the world, regardless of height, weight, color, eyes, hair, and other features, are all different in only one part in 100 in their DNA. All the differences and similarities in our mitochondrial DNA prove that we all share a mother who lived in East Africa some 150,000 years ago. First, realize that cells beget cells. That is, every cell in existence today came from a parent cell. And that cell came from a cell. And the one before that. And if we were to keep going back, we would go all the way back to one cell that lived about 3 billion years ago. And before that, we would go to the molecules of DNA that weren't enclosed in cells. So 3.5 billion years ago, that molecule of DNA did something that has gone on uninterrupted ever since. It encoded instructions deep within itself that passed to its children, who passed it to their children, and to their children's children, and so on. Those instructions have traveled from the very first living organism all the way down through time to you and me. During that journey, as the world changed, the instruction set changed itself and added to itself. And today, it contains within it the traces of every creature visited along that path. Deep within this molecule is important information that we may not really want to know, but know it we shall. Which one of us will be smart? Or athletic? Or tall? Or beautiful?
I know the answer to the beautiful question, and I pay homage to your DNA.
Cute. Can we get on with it, please?
Play.
Which ones of us will get cancer? Or arthritis? Or Alzheimer's? When we have mastered all of its secrets, will parents determine their children's destiny by hand-picking their genes? Or perhaps manufacturing new ones? Are we coming to the end of natural selection? In the beginning of guided selection? Each of us begins life as only a single cell. And deep inside that cell, there is a fortress that contains all the genetic information necessary to construct every incredible detail of you. As that cell divides into 2 cells, and then 4, 8, 16, and so on, each and every one of those cells has within its own nucleus an exact, complete copy of those instructions. Every one of the trillions of cells in your body carries your blueprints. So let's take a fantastic voyage into the nucleus of one of your cells, in search of your code for life. As we penetrate the outer cell wall, we find ourselves swimming in a viscous material called cytoplasm. And in addition to the nucleus floating in the cytoplasm, we encounter tiny parts of the cell. We pass ribosomes and lysosomes and Golgi and mitochondria on our travel. But our destination is still ahead, the very heart of the cell. This is the nucleus. Penetrating the nucleus wall, we encounter 23 pairs of DNA molecules. These are your chromosomes. You have 46 chromosomes and they come in pairs. 1 chromosome of each pair come from your mother and the other from your father. Other creatures have many different numbers of chromosomes, even though we share many of the same genes. For example, the field horsetail plant has 216. A crayfish has 200. A dog has 78. Humans have 46. Mice have 40. A housefly has 12, and a tiny ant has only 2. As you can see, the number of chromosomes is not the indication of how complex the organism may be. And while we have different numbers of chromosomes, the total content of those chromosomes is often surprisingly identical. For example, this infant and this mouse have a mutation in the same gene, which results in a similar white patch on the stomach and forehead.